What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a celebratory edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Corey Seager, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Sometimes, friends, it's just good to be lucky and surrounded by friends and everybody able to cash in on it. That's the beautiful thing about betting. I come from a DFS background where it's very individual, you versus everybody. But in betting, when I started this foray into this 5-6 years ago, when I really started making content, I felt as though, I had something to offer people. And, I guess it's home runs, because home runs have been unbelievable on this program because Corey Seager is an absolute GOAT. Kyle Schwarber, an absolute GOAT. Cal Raleigh, an absolute GOAT. But I think more people have confidence in me after hitting 2 of 3 coming into this one. So for Corey Seager to get it done, hits that absolute nuke for the first one. And then the second one, as it's approaching the wall, my heart rate was out of control. Massive hit across the entire board for everybody. In fact, take a look. We've got a couple of the tweets fired up here. Obviously, there are a lot more than that over on X at Eric Lindquist. Check those out. But producer Jacob just snagged the first couple there. Looks phenomenal across the board. So happy to see it. Makes me ecstatic to know how many of you tailed that play. It was an incredible feeling. I gotta say, I've had bigger individual wins on specific bets on parlays, but I can't remember a bigger group win than this. So thank you so much. If you guys want to be kicking it with me over in that Discord, well, this is your opportunity. Lindy50, you sign up at the link below. Come kick it for the daily picks and the premium Discord. Confirmation on exactly how much I'm betting for things, taking a look at the board the day of, and being able to pull the trigger on a heavy Corey Seager home run play, followed by the Corey Seager 2+ home runs. They graded out very, very nicely for me. Again, upwards of 30-1 available for the people. Come kick it in that Discord, because we're going to have more in MLB. We're going to have more in the NFL streets starting in a couple of weeks. I look forward to being able to provide for you guys. If you've enjoyed this, obviously it'll be less than $10 for your first week, less than $25 for your first month, using promo code Lindy50 at that link below. Alrighty, y'all, we'll get to it here now, but wanted to share that with you from the get-go. Made me so happy to see. Thank you for everybody hitting me up over on X and on YouTube and everything here. But Bet365, we'll talk about them a little bit later. Thank you, producer Jacob, for staying up a little bit later tonight, because we had a lot of celebrating to do. But without further ado, no double home runs on this card. I apologize, no locks on this card, but a really good opportunity to make ourselves some money. So let's stay true to the path. We'll take value when it shows up on things. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. Game number 1, same as what it was here on Monday. We've got Arizona-Miami in this early little pocket of baseball, and I'm not a huge fan of trying to attack Eduardo Rodriguez with a lineup that's still as low of quality as Miami. I know Jake Berger, we've highlighted him and his ascendance. He's looking a lot better in terms of expected slugging, hard contact numbers, everything, but it's so hard to go out of your way to go pick on southpaw Eduardo Rodriguez. We all have 10 2/3 of sample size for him now. 65, got up to 83 pitches against Colorado. I think these are kind of like sneaky spots, but minus 154 is just indicative of Eduardo Rodriguez not being up to snuff of what we've seen in years past in terms of velocity and spin rates. I think we're going to see more swing and miss. We got 5 strikeouts there against Colorado, but giving up 3 earned in those first 2. He's working through it. He hasn't pitched in a while, so it makes sense. As for Edward Cabrera, he's a guy that we have backed in certain spots, with Arizona not striking out a whole heck of a lot, and that being kind of the main way Edward Cabrera goes about his path, 26.8% K rate. The ball's going to get put in play. He has a 13% walk rate. There are guys who can run on Arizona. It is a really tough spot for me to grade anything other than Arizona money line, but at minus 154 with the Eduardo Rodriguez piece, I think we just pass on this one for a second straight day. If you want to take a shot, though, on Arizona, what did they end up even doing? I don't know, total last strike. Oh, they did cover that run line, so 9-6, nice by them. High-scoring baseball game there in Miami, but low-variance ballpark generally, I'm staying away. Second up, we have Colorado taking on Washington, and how about James Wood and the ascendance of this dude over the course of, I got to pull this exact tweet up because it's absolutely insane to see. Yeah, James Wood over his last 16 games been an absolute beast. In fact, 3 homers along with a bajillion RBIs. Yeah, that's really scientific data, Eric. Way to go for a data guy. But James Wood, 56.4% hard hit. The main thing with him is you always have to be paying attention to that launch angle. I know he's got 3 home runs, but for a guy who hits it as hard as he does, I'd like to see that loft come up a little bit. 30.5% K rate, though. And this is left on left against Austin Gomber. As for DJ Hers on the other side, DJ Hers. I can't back Washington at minus 142. I just can't. Even though DJ Hers I find to be the much better pitcher between the two. Colorado, they didn't have to play on Monday, so maybe they got acclimated getting to do some simulated BP or something of that nature. Sometimes you want to attack them that first game outside of Coors Field. That's been a market beater, so you can do that. I've seen a lot of people post about that lately, which is kind of weird. I feel like something I talked about 3 years ago, and now it's just popping up on socials. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I want everybody to have great information. If you have great information, I respect you because this is a really hard thing to do. But Austin Gomber, we're going to attack him somehow. I don't know how. Washington. I'm going to call it lean light for the people. I know you could be playing this one. I like this a little bit better than the Arizona one, but particularly looking at the lean like a Mr. James Wood here and the ascendance of him. Hard hit numbers off the charts. 434 expected slugging. I expect to come up with what we've seen from him of late. And yeah, when he puts ball on bat, it goes far. Austin Gomber, and left on left, he's hitting about the same. 281 to lefties, 287 against righties. So for the lefty here, want to be firing something up. Cleveland and New York up next. Matthew Boyd, Luis Gil, two really quality pitchers. Matthew Boyd still accumulating sample size on him, same way that I was talking about with Eduardo Rodriguez. But we just went from Arizona lean, Washington lean like. Again, thinking about firing that up. Cleveland money line here, I think is pretty darn nice value. Plus 134. I know the Yankees have been on fire, but specifically one guy. It's been Juan Soto. It's been Juan Soto's world here of late. Aaron Judge has like 44 home runs or some shit. I mean, he's out of control too. Cleveland money line here, getting to go up against Luis Gil, who has the XFIP. Just sitting a little too high for me. Luis Gil's my guy, so it's very strange to be betting against him in this spot. But hey, data is data. Plus 134, a little bit too much. I actually have plus 136. I think it was. Let me find my ticket. Yeah, this number might actually come up a little bit too. So we might see this closer to plus 140 here at first pitch. People publicly back those Yankees. Folks know this. Just pay attention. And a guy that ended up getting all hit, I believe, in that spot. Yeah, 1 for 4, had all of a single. Didn't end up cashing his home run play, plus 630. Got closing line value on it, but, you know, closing line value on a plus 630 home run. Cool. He was lower than plus 600 at the jump. But anywho, what am I looking at here? Oh, yeah, here we go. Jose Berrios here on the other side of things. Yeah, we want to attack him, and I'm going to go back to the well and Tyler Stevenson. Only looking total bases for now. I think the home run might show up something comparable. Kevin Gausman. Yeah, we're going to be paying very close attention. I bring it up all the time. He's a catcher batting third routinely in this lineup. Jose Berrios gives up hard contact, especially to some righties here, at a 345 xWOBA. And Tyler Stevenson special, 428 expected slugging, 332 xWOBA, 44.5% hard hit. I like the two bases. I'm going to call it a lean light, though, because I need to confirm the numbers and get that bet down tomorrow. Super quick, super easy here. Jose Quintana, I actually backed, and I got exactly what I deserved. The Mets go up 5-0, and he chumps it. It's all right. I hit a 30-1 ticket yesterday, and it was beautiful. But anywho, we're looking at Dean Kramer and Jose Quintana in this one. Dean Kramer, he's definitely the pitcher that I think going forward that I would want to be backing more, but this feels a little bit thin. 348 xWOBA, 10.4% barrel percentage. A Mets offense that has guys. Francisco Alvarez there in the 7-hole hitting walk-off bombs. 4-3 W for them there. Didn't cash that over. It was sad. But anyway, Jose Quintana, yeah, I backed him last time around. I won't make that mistake twice. I would be looking at the Baltimore money line side, but Baltimore bats have gone a little bit ice baby against lefties. I'm going to be hitting the brakes, pumping the brakes. Didn't really like it when I saw what they rolled out today against, a lefty and David Peterson that I needed runs against. So I'm going to show a little bit of caution this time around. I think you should too. And that being said, we are not showing caution here. It is Zach Wheeler. It is Reynaldo Lopez here on Atlanta. Reynaldo Lopez, he's been an okay back at times this season, but this is an Atlanta offense that just lost Austin Riley for 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 weeks. That's brutality for them. Probably puts an end to the season. We shall see. We shall see. But anywho, I would like you at least to know that Reynaldo Lopez is not the reason that I'm going to attack him here, because he has a 2.06 ERA, 1.19 whip, but 57 pitches. He had a forearm injury, 15-day injured list. I don't know what he looks like, and I know what Zach Wheeler looks like, and this should not be at this number without Austin Riley and Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna and all the normal guys on the Atlanta side. I will back Zach Wheeler blindly at these kind of numbers. I mean, the guy is just immaculate still. 2.72 ERA, 0.98 whip. Looking across the board, he continues to put up quality starts, continues to induce ground balls. This should be north of -130, and it's not, so it gets a like. It is my favorite play thus far of the day. We've got one coming up a little bit later in Kansas City. I'll also cover this for you quick. Pennsylvania, Bet365 is now available in your state. Awesome opportunity to bet $5 at the link below. Get yourself $150 in bonus spins, in bonus bets, and 50 spins on the old virtual slot machines over at Bet365. That's a great bankroll booster. Again, betting 5, getting 150 in bonus bets automatically. You want to be checking this out. They've got great home run numbers on a day-in, day-out basis. Again, Bet365 challenging the likes of FanDuel and BetMGM that has also had fantastic home run numbers here of late. So be paying attention to Bet365. OddsShopper has a bunch of data for you available for Bet365 as well. Graded as one of our better sports books as well when we're back testing against the sharp algo. So Pennsylvania launch, bet 5, get 150 at the link below. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. I will also say before we start this segment that I hope you realize I do not work for the books, because if I did, they would be very unhappy with my day yesterday, that's for sure. But I guess if I did work for the books, I'd probably say something like, oh, I don't work for the books. I don't work for the books. Anyway, Frankie Montas, Eric Fetty, we're paying attention to these guys. Frankie Montas, not so good at the old pitching of the baseballs, and it hasn't gotten a lot better in Milwaukee. I didn't see how a change of scenery was going to help him against lefties because, you know, his pitch mix just grades out really well against that, or grades out well for the lefties facing him. 42.6% hard hit overall, 338 xWOB. As for Fetty, it's weird because I've been on the over of his strikeouts and I've been on the under of his strikeouts, and it's been very matchup based. Milwaukee is that headache of a matchup. Time in, time out. I constantly find it difficult to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with it. But Frankie Montas brought up the lefties. I just have to highlight one right here. Yes, Lars Nootbaar, almost a 50% hard hit, but the launch angle not really getting there for the old home runs. We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it, young man. But Alec Burleson does 14.6-degree average launch angle, 471 expected slugging. I've seen some weird lineup iterations where, you know, Tommy Pham will be higher and then they bury him to the 6 hole. I want to kind of be a little bit cautious with this one. So instead of the lean like Tyler Stevenson got, the lean like that we'll have coming up later on another player, and then I do have a lean on another player too, I'm going to make this one a straight out lean. This is going to be a lean for me. Alec Burleson, I really want to see his lineup order before we do anything else. Some people might say, oh, it's predictable. He's been batting second forever. Yeah, but they've moved pieces around here quite a bit of late. Lars Nootbaar is hitting the ball really hard right now. I just want to be careful. I don't want to bet him in the 6 hole at like plus 400, but I would like to bet him in the 2 hole at plus 400 or better. And the Cubbies. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? I really don't know what to make of this. Javier Assad. This is the guy that I backed a lot last year, and it's weird. Kind of came out of the gate decently well. He's got the hard hit that's still decent, 37.2%, nice mark, but 8.1% barrel percentage, 333 xWOBA. Still waiting on a total, still waiting on numbers here, and I have that same crap that was going on last week where I have winfinder.com and I'm trying to establish which direction it's actually coming from here, and I think that's why we don't have a total here either. Well, that, and we don't have a starting pitcher from the Detroit side. Who did I mark down as the potential guy? I think it was that Salmons character. I think I always default to this Brian Salmons character now. He would be on 6 days rest. He didn't get sent back down to AAA, so I assume it's going to be him, but we haven't gotten announced from Detroit yet, and that's kind of important in trying to handicap baseball. Thanks, Detroit. You're not even competitive, but we're going to just sit around and wait for your pitchers. Cool. Cool. Yeah, it'll be run, line, or pass for me on the Cubbies. Probably won't play it. Can't imagine that we're going to get the numbers I want to see here. Oh, and by the way, Detroit's also going to be limiting innings on Skubal. I don't know what that does for the Cy Young, but his odds got shorter today. I don't know why. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there too. Oh, we've reached the GOAT game. Mitch Keller and this Bradford character, we're not going to talk about them. We're going to talk about Corey Seager. It was so fun. It was so fun. It was very, very fun. Look at this. Look at this beautiful montage of goodness provided to you by producer Jacob, who I promise you exists. He's a beautiful human being. He'll come out and play one of these days, probably week 1 NFL. Yeah, got to say hi to the people. Yeah, he's not sure. But anyway, check this out, friends. Corey Seager, absolute smash. Wanted to bring it back one more time. One more time, or 2 times, because that's what we got. We're going to get better than plus 240 against Mitch Keller tomorrow. Plus 300 today. That was the jam. Jock Jams. But Jock Jams actually was a different game. He hit a home run too today. Oh yeah. Corey Seager. Just all hail the GOAT. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. What an absolute goaty GOAT individual. Couldn't have been more fun. He's taking on Mitch Keller here. Oh, Mitch Keller's right-handed. He's having a good year, but Corey Seager is a god. And the Angels in Kansas City here for you. The Angels and Kansas City friends. We got Tyler Anderson, Mr. Anderson, and Cole Reagans. I feel like Cole Reagans always gets in like these left-on-left matchups. I mean, maybe I'm just highlighting like Scooball and some of the other main guys in the AL Central. Twins don't really have a lefty starter. It's interesting. I didn't even think about that till just now. Anyway, we got Tyler Anderson, we got Cole Reagans, and as such, massive price on the money line, but this has a plus sign in front of it, which caught me a little bit by surprise. And here's the thing. I do think Kauffman Stadium generally is a pretty neutral one for runs, but talked about it a little bit yesterday. Going to talk about it again today. I think it's still the right side to be on the square side with Kansas City. I looked at the money line, didn't end up playing anything on it. I'm a little sad. I see that they're up like a bunch here early on or later on in this game. It's 5-2 heading into the 8th. But Tyler Anderson, Cole Reagans, it is such a mismatch here. And kind of alluded to the Scooball thing before. If I had to put any money on anybody in the Cy Young odds right now, it would be 55-1 Cole Reagans I saw on FanDuel. I'm not going to do it. I thought about it long and hard, where a month of Kansas City just smashing and having Lugo and Reagans potentially be the reasons for it could catapult them up there, depending on how harshly Tariq Scooball gets pulled back. Now, he's built himself a gigantic lead. It's kind of like trying to chase down, you know, like a Secretariat or some shit. Man, I don't know. I don't know what the Secretariat betting odds were, but I do know Tyler Anderson and Cole Reagans. This is the mismatch here. Anderson has been a negative regression candidate for a very, very long time. We've brought that up multiple times on this program. Don't need to go back into that. I'm going to be betting Kansas City on the run line. This is actually my favorite spot of the entire game, or the entire slate. And in this game, want to point out Cole Reagans talked through some of the ins and outs of those Cy Young odds. Was actually talking with Greg Ehrenberg a little bit today about it as well, because I wanted to get his opinion. He is the absolute GOAT of futures bets. You need to be following him, my co-host over on the Stochastic YouTube channel, covering all of the fantasy goodness. So take a look at that as well. But as it stands right now, I'm looking at Cole Reagans potentially being a ladder up to 8. Looking at some of his historical pricing on that, it's going to be very close here up against the Angels on how that's going to grade out. So wanted to at least throw him in because this is my favorite game on the slate, and it's a 20.5% K rate against the Angels. I think we could be opening with a soft 6.5 here, where it's like the -110-ish version, -115-ish version. Very curious to see where books open these numbers. Going to run some more stuff tomorrow. If you want to know if it ends up on the card, hit me up at Eric Lindquist over on X. We got 5 games to go. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we cover Nick Pivetta and Ronel Blanco here in this one. Nick Pivetta, feast and famine, has the strikeout stuff, gives up the high fly ball contact here in this one. Now, this is a weird one. I'm not sure if Premium Discord has noticed this, because I don't think I've ever brought him up on this show. But he's been on an auspiciously high number of the round robin cards over the course of the last 2 months. Now, what are the round robin cards? Well, on FanDuel, we head to fanduel.com, where you easily can put the round robins together rather than having to like put them in as individual parlays. But you're able to take multiple games in multiple game environments, multiple players in the home run market, and you can just parlay them. They don't parlay within the same game for the round robin. You have to do that individually. So know that if you're looking to make those plays over on FanDuel, like I always post. But Nick Pivetta, Ronel Blanco, I'm not going to be doing anything with Ronel Blanco. He just continues to be the highlight of this entire Houston organization this season. 35% hard hit, 227 expected batting average. They've started to figure a lot of stuff out. Now they've got this Shea Whitcomb guy up there who seems like he's going to hit balls really, really hard too. So that's fun for them. Batting night today, so we'll pump the brakes a little bit, but not going to be pumping the brakes on this one. If they give me the right number, of course. Jeremy Pena. I have this as a lean purely because of how long these odds are. It ends up being plus 740 is my break-even number on Jeremy Pena. He has routinely been better than that. I've got plus 900 that's been in some of these round robins, plus 1100, and it really comes down to this. When you're analyzing home runs, Jeremy Pena does not have the hard hit that we prototypically are looking at, 38.1%. He's not a shorter odds guy, but He's so good at making contact, 276 batting average for 406 expected slugging, that it's hard for me when you get up against a strikeout pitcher who still has home run problems that you're not going to be running into really positive EV spots. Now, it's not a given. It's always price and probability, but Jeremy Pena, 2+ bases. I think the bases will probably be on the card tomorrow, but the home run, I think it might be another round robin piece. Looking really, really nice. Better than plus 740. Yesterday's game actually had a better number going up against Tanner Houck, which is kind of strange. Minnesota and San Diego. I saw somebody the other day. I always fade your Minnesota picks. Okay. I'm here to give you the best information I possibly can. And sometimes I bet against my Minnesota Twins. Thought about it yesterday with San Diego. I am going to be betting my Minnesota Twins in this spot. This is a pitching mismatch. Now, the first 5 is a little bit inflated to take up for that. So I've got to deal with, we'll see how this bullpen situation rolls out here, but I'm willing to just blindly back the money line here at -116. Bailey Ober, I know that he's somebody that we've attacked a lot of times, and I talk about his fly ball rate, 20.3-degree average launch angle on it, 8.3% barrel percentage, and this ballpark that's driven me nuts the entire season. Now, Martin Perez, coming off of a fantastic baseball game, but there is no way that Martin Perez, facing his former team here, that we would be getting this short of a price on backing the Twins in this spot if it weren't for a couple of factors. One, we still have Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa out, but 2, Martin Perez just pitched well. He still has a 4.53 ERA, a 1.48 whip. Sure, he's had 2 really good outings back-to-back. They were against Miami and Pittsburgh. You know who this is not? Miami or Pittsburgh. Give me the Twinkies. Let's go. And Tampa Bay and Oakland. This is a tough one. Shane Baz and Joey Estes. I'm not loving what we're seeing from Shane Baz so far. It was kind of questionable what we were going to get. I thought maybe we needed to back Shane Baz a little bit earlier. I'm down a little bit backing him over the course of this season. It looks like I bet against him once, which is weird. I don't even remember when that was, but 47.3% hard hit is not great. Fly ball contact as well. Only at 29.4%, sorry, 38.4% ground ball percentage. That makes more sense. Reading the wrong chart. I'm just still happy. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Anyway, this is a lean like for the people. I know that there are, a number of plays where been on the fence about it. This is one that I have not pulled the trigger on yet. I'm looking at it. Shane Baz, he's got to be better than this. Anyway, I'm going to pay attention to bullpen usage, but if you're looking for something that I still grade out as positive EV and you don't have anything else on the card, 7.5 here. It is juiced -115 and up right now. If it gets to 8 and it's sitting at -105, that half run is kind of a gigantic deal to me, but yeah. Price and probability. How many times can I say it? This has 0 chance of being on my card. Dean Martin and Robbie Ray. I hate this baseball game so much. Robbie Ray is getting some unbelievable prices. San Francisco at home been kind of a dog lately. They've been useful. But speaking of dog money, +205 and then run line in a 7.5 total baseball game sitting at -102. No way I can do this. I can't bet the White Sox. I'll call it the run line here, +1.5 for the time being. It is so hard. I mean, this bullpen is so atrocious. And not only that, but like Michael Kopech's been the best reliever in baseball since the Dodgers got him. So good job, White Sox. You guys, you're doing great, sweetie. You're doing great. And the last game of the night, Bryce. Oh, I got to remember which Miller it is. I always forget. I think it's the Bryce version. Bryce Miller. Correct. Don't know why I second guessed myself or had an aneurysm there. But 3.29 ERA, 1 flat whip. He's had a pretty decent season, but taking on the Dodgers. Oh boy. Yeah, not ideal. And Walker Buehler has really not been ideal. I will say, I think we're going to see him ramp up some innings. We're going to see him improve as we get closer to the postseason because the Dodgers have been playing the long game with him. He didn't look good against Milwaukee. He did not look good at all in that debut back. You've been out for 2 months up to that point. But Milwaukee's been notoriously excellent against righties and makes me want to beat my head against a wall. But he had 4 walks to go with it. 6 ERA, 1.61 whip. This is not the version of Walker Buehler that the Dodgers signed up for, but let's just make some money in the process, potentially. Looking at an over. Probably won't bet an over. Want to. It's almost like Miller's kind of the reason that I'm staying away from this more so than Buehler, because Buehler's That improvement's coming, though, I promise. And that does it for a fun celebratory edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about Monday. I hope it was all right. I promise you, we're not going to go 3 for 4 on 2 home run plays for the season. I mean, that is just absurd. But we did. That's what we did. If I don't have another play hit the rest of the year for you, those 3 alone, if you tailed the 2 home runs for anything remotely decent, you're probably pretty happy with me. It's been a great MLB season. Let's keep it rocking, friends. I'm going to be covering a lot in that premium Discord. One more time, if you want to sign up for that, Lindy50. Lindy50 is the sign-up code. Come kick it with me in that Discord. Would love to see you. Thank you, producer Jacob. Great stuff. 50% off first week, month. Use code Lindy50. That becomes $10 for your first week to come kick it. Get those daily picks. Talk with me in the premium Discord. And yeah, let me know, are you entertained? I was definitely entertained. Thank you, Corey Seeger. Anyway, let's get ourselves out of here. Thank you, producer Jacob, for staying up a little bit later tonight. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday. Let's run it back.